Hi, I'm Kelly Yang, and I'm the author of Front Desk, and I'm here to answer questions for Global Read Aloud. Thank you guys so much for reading Front Desk. I'm so excited. I've been getting your questions all week, and I have put them in this tip jar that I got from the Chinese American International School here in San Francisco. So I put all your questions in here, and I'm going to shake it up, and I'm going to answer a few of them. Okay, you guys ready? Here we go. Super excited. Okay, let's see. The first question is, how did you get the idea of the chocolate notebook? This question is from Annabelle at the Prince of Peace Catholic School. That's a great question, and I'm going to answer it. So a lot of times when we're writing, we have these little seeds of ideas. I don't really know exactly where this chocolate notebook idea came from. I think I was at a stationery shop and I saw this like beautiful notebook. I don't think it was chocolate. I think it was just like a fuzzy, really cool notebook that I really wanted. And I don't think I got it for my daughter, but I think I was like, oh my gosh, if I had that as a kid, you know, I'd never want to lose it. I'd be like super, super excited about it. And so, that was sort of a seed. And often what happens is the seed kind of grows in your head until it becomes a flower or a plant. And when I was writing Front Desk, I thought, wouldn't it be great if Mia had this notebook from her teacher at school, but she somehow accidentally made this mistake and the notebook had to be taken away. And then I kind of like morphed into the idea of the chocolate notebook. So great question. All right, let's see, you guys ready? Let's do question 2. Question 2 is, how did you feel living in a motel? This question is from James from the Pop School. How did I feel living in the motel as a kid? I was thrilled and excited, but also a little bit scared. As you'll read from Front Desk, I know you guys are only in like chapter 10 or 9, that lots of things can happen in a motel, right? Because you've got strangers coming in, you've got people coming in all the time. So I was always worried that I would check somebody in who might like yell at me or not like me very much because I was just a kid. So there was always that fear in my heart. But also I had tons and tons of joy living in the motel because I got to play around, I got to answer all the calls, and I got to like pretend I was in charge and an adult, which I kind of was. I was in charge. So that was really sort of like a double feeling for me, and it was, you know, very exciting and very different from the way that a lot of my friends were growing up, but I really cherished it. Okay, next question. What other books did you write that are really good like Front Desk? Oh, good question. So if you love Front Desk, you'll be very happy to know that there's a sequel coming out in September next year called 3 Keys. So you'll be able to continue reading about Mia. And another really wonderful book that I wrote is called Parachutes, and it's a YA, young adult book, so for older kids, and it's coming out in May of 2020. Okay. Another question is, what was it like living in a car in the summer? This one from the King's View Junior School in Toronto, Canada. Wow, what a great question. So a lot of times you think about living in a car as maybe a fun adventure, like something you could do with a bunch of friends and go on a road trip. And there's definitely an element of that. Like it was fun for about, I think, 2 hours. And then it became really, really unbearably hot and really squished, and just we were so cramped in this little car. And it wasn't even like a big car. Like I drive a minivan now, so I would, you know, sometimes I think like, could I live in here? Because it's not like small, but we were driving like the tiniest little car, so it was really uncomfortable. So yeah, it was just a lot of like, when is this gonna end? Is this gonna last forever? I mean, am I gonna have to like build my bedroom here in this back seat? And so it was kind of very uncomfortable. Okay, another question. How did you decide that Front Desk was what you wanted to write? Great question. So I wrote Front Desk originally for my son Elliot to tell him about the way I grew up, because he had no idea that I grew up in a motel and my childhood was really different from his. So I wrote it mostly for that reason, and it was important for me to tell him because of lots of things that were going on in the world, right? We still have a lot of the same issues going on, a lot of social injustice, a lot of, discrimination. All these things were happening in my world currently, but also when I was a kid. So I really wanted to have a story through which he could really understand all of that. Okay, another question. See. Do you want to work in a motel again? Oh my gosh, this one's from the Adam Elementary School in Washington. Do I want to work in a motel? I think I could be really good at it. I would take lots of notes, and I'd probably write another story about it. I don't want to work in a motel again. I'm happy as a writer. I love writing, and I'm really glad to be able to live through Mia and just experience all the different issues of working in a motel. Okay, one more question. How did you become an author, and how long did it take you to write Front Desk? I actually wrote Front Desk 3 times. So I had to go through 3 drafts. Any of you guys writing stuff out there, you have to rewrite constantly as a kid? I remember that being really frustrating. Guess what, guys? That is a huge part of being a professional writer. We have to do that all the time, and it's called revision, and it's wonderful. So do not feel bad if you ever have to rewrite something. That's very, very, very common and very necessary and very natural part of writing. So it took me probably about altogether, I would say on and off a year to write Front Desk. When I draft, it usually takes me a couple of months, but I had to rewrite it 3 times. And how did I become an author? Simply by writing and trying to find an agent and getting it published. Okay, we're gonna take 2 more questions. You guys ready? All right. Was it fun working in a motel? Yes, it was tons of fun. Oh my gosh, I got to jump in the pool. I did that a lot as a kid. It didn't matter what the owner said. I would ride my bike around. I would check in on all the customers, talk to the weeklies, go see what my parents were up to, get a soda from the vending machine. It was tons and tons of fun. It was also a little bit scary sometimes, so it wasn't all fun, but it was fun. Okay, and final question is, how does it feel to make a book? Oh, great question. This one's from the Pittsburgh Elementary School in Maine. How does it feel? It feels like just a dream come true. It's just so amazing that this little story that I wrote on my computer and sometimes by hand would end up being a real thing that you guys are reading all over the world. I mean, is that amazing, right? And so I really encourage all of you guys to keep reading and keep writing and keep sending me questions. And remember, you can't win if you don't play. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you guys next week. Bye, guys.